Hello all, welcome to my channel Codify with Sonal. So today the topic what we are going to cover is AWS Solution Architect Associate Real Exam Questions part 4 of the series. This is an on-demand series, guys. Many of you had pinged me for next series. This was planned up to next week, but yeah, on your demand, I'm putting up now. So let's start with the questions. So for to see the 1 to 25 questions, you can check out my previous parts of the series. Okay, so let's start. A company is rapidly growing in recent months has been in the process of setting up IAM users on its single AWS account. Keywords: single AWS account. A solution architect has been tasked to handle the user management, which includes granting read only access to users and denying permissions whenever an IAM user has no MFA set up. Okay, what is MFA? Multi-factor authentication. New users will be added frequently based on their respective departments. Another, new users respective departments. Which of the following action is the most secure way to grant permission to the new users? Okay, so let's go through the options. Take your time, pause the video, and understand the question well. Okay, so now see what is happening. The company is growing. Okay, they have now the process of setting up IAM users. They want to do something which is a more faster and more secured way. Okay, they want to have read only access. They want users to deny permissions if the user has not done an MFA setup. Okay, so all these things, and whenever new users are joining, according to their department, they want the access to be added. Okay, what is the best way we can help them out? So let's see. Launch an IAM group for each department. Makes sense because new users will be added frequently based on their respective departments. Create an IAM policy that enforces MFA authentication with the least privilege permission. Correct. IAM attach IAM policy to each IAM group. This is correct. So this is our correct answer, but let's see why others are wrong. Okay. So now create a service control policy that enforces MFA authentication for each department. Add a trust relationship to every SCP and attach it to each IAM user. First of all, SCP is used when you have multiple accounts. It's an organizational root account, all that things, right? But here they have clearly mentioned, when I read the question, I told you key point: single AWS account. So SCP does not even come into the picture. Okay, so attach IAM role to the IAM groups. Okay, this point says that create IAM role that enforces MFA authentication with the least privilege. Set up a corresponding IAM group for each department. Attach IAM role to the groups. So now why this is incorrect? Because IAM group usually is provided with IAM policy, not IAM role. So there is no direct way in AWS management console to manually assign an IAM role to a particular group, IAM group. Okay, so you can attach an IAM policy, you cannot attach an IAM role. That's the reason this is not correct. Okay, then set up IAM roles for each IAM user and associate a permissions boundary that defines the maximum permissions. So you might have read always the best practice of IAM. What is the best practice? Grant least privilege, not the other way around. Why will you give maximum permissions? Correct. You need to make it secured, not be open to the community and give them the permission, do whatever you want, right? So yeah, the correct answer is on the screen. Okay, you will put up an IAM group and you'll attach an IAM policy which enforces them to MFA authentication with the least privilege, and whenever new user comes, you can add them to this group. They will automatically have the policy attached. Okay, so it is like more secure, more faster. Okay, coming to the next question. A company launched a website that accepts high quality photos and turns them into a downloadable video montage. Okay, The website offers a free and a premium account that guarantees faster processing. All requests by both free and premium members go through a single SQS queue and then processed by a group of EC2 instances that generate the videos. The company needs to ensure that the premium users who paid for the service have higher priority than the free members. Okay. How should the company redesign its architecture to address this requirement? So now, whenever you have any premium membership, you get some privileges, right? So that's what they are asking. So the company needs to ensure that premium members who paid for the service, they get higher priority than the members who are having free access. Okay. So how should the company redesign the architecture? Okay. Let's see options. First, whenever I tell you, let's see options, pause the video and try to answer it yourself. And I've always told you, please don't treat this as dumps. Try to understand the things. Only reading dumps, maybe it will help you in passing the exam, but you need to implement things, right? So you need to understand how the process is, okay? Understand the course first. Try to do hands-on labs and then go for these practice series, okay? So let's read the options. Use S3 to store and process the photos and then generate the video montage afterward. Now, S3 is used for durable storage, not for processing data. So this option is not correct. Then coming to next option, using Amazon Kinesis to process the photos and generate the video montage in real time. Now, why is this incorrect? Is because Kinesis is used to process streaming data. Okay, here the case is different. Create an SQS for free members and another one for premium members. Configure your EC2 instances to consume messages from the premium queue first, and if it is empty, poll from the free members SQS queue. So this is a correct way. Okay, why it is a correct way? So we'll see is that when you have SQS, so what is SQS? It is a fully managed message queuing service. Okay, so it eliminates the complexity. You can send, you can store, you can receive messages, and you don't have risk of losing messages. Okay, so to provide a specific priority to the premium members, we can use this approach that okay, use one queue for premium and one queue for free, and let the premium queue finish its messages first, and then after that let the free members queue be processed. So what will happen, it will get a priority. Okay, and for the request made by premium members, set a higher priority in SQS queue, so it will be processed first compared to the request made by free members is incorrect. Okay, as there is no way you can set a priority to individual items in the SQS queue. Okay, so the correct answer is that you will create two queues for this, one for free members, one for premium. Premium goes first, free queue goes second. Okay, if you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment box, and please do not forget to subscribe the channel. It it takes lot of hard work to make all these videos, so if you like it, please do subscribe the channel. Next, a solutions architect is migrating several Windows based applications to AWS that require a scalable file system storage for high performance computing. The storage service must have full support for the SMB protocol and Windows NTFS, Active Directory integration, and distributed file system. Which of the following is the most suitable storage service that the architect should use to fulfill this scenario? Now, what they want to migrate from a Windows based application to AWS. What they have a file storage system, okay, file system storage, and they want high performance computing. They are using SMB protocol and NTFS protocol, AD integration, and DFS system. FSX provides fully managed Windows file servers with features and performance optimized for lift and shift business critical applications, you know, and it is accessible from Windows and Linux instances via SMB protocol. Okay, let's see what why other options are not correct. Amazon S3 Glacier Deep Archive. So this is incorrect because it is used for like securable, durable, extremely low cost cloud storage for like basically for data archiving and long term backup. Okay. FSX for Lustre. FSX for Lustre is incorrect because it will not support Windows based applications as well as Windows Server. Okay. It is mostly used for Linux. Data sync. Data sync is basically a fast way to move large amounts of data online between on-premises storage and S3 or EFS system. Okay, so the correct answer is FSX for Windows File Server. Next question. A company requires corporate IT governance and cost oversight of all its AWS resources across its divisions around the world. Their corporate divisions want to maintain administrative control of the discrete AWS resources they consume and ensure that those resources are separate from other divisions. Which of the following options will support the autonomy of each corporate division while enabling corporate IT to maintain governance and cost oversight? So, this question is about how you will get an integrated details of the cost and how will you support the autonomy of each corporate division. Okay, they have divided it, and how will you maintain those and all that things inside AWS. Okay, so let's see options one by one. So you can use IAM role to delegate access to resources that are in different accounts, okay, different AWS accounts. So you share these resources in one account with with users in a different account. So set this cross account, you don't have to sign out of one account, you can sign in into another to access your resources that are in different AWS account. That is the flexibility given. So and for billing fear cost oversight, you can use the consolidated billing feature. Okay, so combined use of IAM consolidated billing will support your autonomy of each corporate division while enabling corporate IT to maintain their governance and cost oversight. So the correct answers are use consolidated billing by creating AWS organizations to link divisions account to a parent corporate account. Okay, and enable IAM cross account access for all the corporate IT administrators in each child account. Okay, so let's see why other three are not correct. Okay, now create separate VPC for each division within corporate IT AWS account and launch an AWS transit gateway with equal cost multipath routing and VPN tunnels for intra VPC communication. So this is incorrect because you creating separate VPCs would not separate the divisions from each other since they will be still operating under the same account, correct? And if they are operating in the same account, they will contribute to the same billing each month. Creating separate availability zones for each division within the corporate IT AWS account, improve communication between the two AZs using the AWS Global Accelerator. So, it is incorrect because you do not need to create AZs. They are already provided for you by AWS right from start. And using trusted advisor and AWS resource group stack editor is incorrect because trusted advisor is what we have discussed a lot of times, guys. It is an online tool which helps you understand what is the best practices for your resources. Okay, and whereas tag editor, it allows you to add, edit and delete the tags to multiple AWS resources just for your easy identification and monitoring. Let's go to the next question. A leading e-commerce company is in need of a storage solution that can be simultaneously accessed by 1,000 Linux servers in multi-AZ. Okay, Linux servers. Make that clear. The servers are hosted in EC2 instances that use a hierarchical directory structure. Another point, directory structure via the NFS v4 protocol. You need to remember the protocol in exam, guys, because seeing the protocol you should identify, okay, this can be an answer. Okay, The service should be able to handle rapid change at scale, which still maintaining high performance. It should also be highly durable and highly available whenever the servers will pull data from it, with little need for management. As the solutions architect, which of the following services is the most cost effective choice that you should use to meet the above requirement? Okay, so I've discussed the key points while reading the question itself. So here the major keywords is rapidly changing data and Linux servers, 1,000 Linux servers. So what goes best with this? EFS, right? Because EFS provides you a file system interface, okay, as they said, directory structure they want, okay, and it is based on Linux servers. So all that goes in hand, right? Like EFS is the best solution for you. And whenever you see POSIX compatible file system, so EFS is the answer. This is also one keyword range. Okay. Now, why the other options are incorrect? Let's see that. Storage gateway. Now, storage gateway is primarily it is used to extend the storage of your on-premises data center to your AWS cloud. It has nothing to do with storing the file system and all. No. Then EBS. EBS is what? Elastic block storage, right? So it is cannot be shared by multiple instances. Okay. This is the reason here it is not correct. And S3, it provides the same type of availability and scalability like EFS, but it is not suitable for a data which is rapidly changing. You need to understand what goes more correctly. Try to match each and every word what goes correctly with the options. Okay, EFS is the correct answer. Next question. A company plans to use Route 53 instead of an ELB to load balance the incoming request to the web application. The system is deployed to two EC2 instances to which the traffic needs to be distributed. You want to set a specific percentage of traffic to go to each instance. Which routing policy would you choose? For example, now if you want to send a tiny portion of your traffic to one resource and rest to the other resource, okay, so you'll have some weights, right? So you will say, okay, this much percentage here, this much percentage here. So if you want to stop sending traffic to a resource, you can change their weight and you can say, okay, I don't want to send any traffic, so let's make the weight as 0. So the correct routing policy which you will use here is weighted. Okay, now let's see why others are incorrect. Failover. Now failover is incorrect because it is an active passive failover configuration for your web application, not a weighted one. Okay, coming to geolocation. Geolocation is more suitable when it is based on the location of your user, not for distributing specific percentage. Okay, latency is incorrect because you cannot set a specific percentage. Here they are clearly mentioning in the question they want to set a specific percentage, so weighted is the only correct answer. Okay, next, a large financial firm in the country has an AWS environment that contains several EC2 instances, reserved EC2 instances, hosting a web application that has been decommissioned last week. To save costs, you need to stop incurring charges for the reserved instances as soon as possible. What cost effective steps will you take in this circumstance? Select two. Okay, make sure you keep this in mind while attempting the questions in exam. Read clearly whether you have to select one answer or two answer. Okay, you just select one and go ahead, it will not tell you to select two many times. So here what are they saying? That there's a large financial firm, okay, they have some reserved EC2 instances and it has been decommissioned last week. So like they are not using it anymore. So now to save cost, you need to stop the charges, right? So what you will do, and in the way that it will be cost effective. So stopping the reserved instances as soon as possible. Now this is incorrect because a stopped instance can still be restarted, correct? Then contact AWS to cancel your AWS subscription. It is incorrect. You don't need to close down your account, correct? So that's not correct. Go to the AWS reserved instance market and sell the reserved instances is correct. Okay, you can sell the reserved instances. Okay, then coming to the next option, terminate the reserved instances as soon as possible to avoid getting billed at the on demand price when it expires. Correct, this is one way to stop the cost. Okay, and go to amazon.com online shopping website. No, 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 guys, please. Amazon.com online shopping will not let you sell your AWS reserved instance. You have a specific AWS reserved instance marketplace to sell it. Okay, you cannot go and sell it on amazon.com. So the correct answer to this is go to the AWS reserved instance marketplace and sell the reserved instances and terminate the reserved instances as soon as possible to avoid getting billed. Next question. A startup plans to develop a multiplayer game that uses UDP as the protocol for communication between clients and game servers. The data of the users will be stored in key value store, DynamoDB. Okay. As the solution architect, you need to implement a solution that will distribute the traffic across a number of servers. Which of the following could help you to achieve this requirement? Okay, so as I gave you the hint, DynamoDB. So B and C are out of discussion. Okay, and the protocol is UDP. UDP comes under network protocol, network layer protocol. So the correct answer is definitely distribute the traffic using network load balancer and store the data in DynamoDB. Now B and C, why they are wrong? Because RDS and Aurora are not key value store. Okay, and why D is wrong is because the protocol is UDP. When you have UDP and TCP protocol, the answer will always be network load balancer, because UDP is a layer 4 traffic. That is why you will use network load balancer. Next question. A logistics company plans to automate its order management application. The company wants to use SFTP file transfer in uploading business critical documents. Since the files are confidential, the files need to be highly available and must be encrypted at rest. The files must also be automatically deleted a month after they are created. Which of the following options should be implemented to meet the company requirements with the least operation overhead? Okay. So here what I want, there's a logistics company, they want to automate their order management application and they will be using SFTP file transfer protocol in uploading their business critical documents. Okay, now files are highly confidential. As they say, business critical documents, the file needs to be highly available and they should also be encrypted at rest. Okay, and our files should automatically be deleted after they are a month after they are created. So these kind of feature we had seen in our earlier examples, right? Earlier questions. If you have not seen them, please go and watch the part 2 or 3. We have discussed this kind of question. So when you want to have the files in a highly available, highly durable, because the files are quite confidential, you will use S3 bucket. Okay, and in S3 bucket you also have a feature of implementing lifecycle rules which allow you to delete after a certain moment, after a certain month, like as they have said, delete after a month. Okay, so and S3 gives you encryption enabled option also. Okay, so the correct answer to this is create an S3 bucket with encryption enabled, launch an AWS transfer for SFTP endpoint to securely upload files to the S3 bucket. And you can configure an S3 lifecycle rule to delete files after a month. Now let's see why others are not correct. Provision an Amazon EC2 instance and install the SFTP service. Mount an encrypted EFS file system on the EC2 instance to store the uploaded files. Add a cron job to delete the files older than a month is incorrect. Why? Because it is possible, but it has lot of operational overhead. You will need to manage your EC2 instance, your SFTP service, so lot of operational overhead. Okay, create an EFS file system and enable encryption. Configure AWS transfer for SFTP to securely upload files to the EFS file system. Add an EFS lifecycle policy to delete files after 30 days is incorrect, because this is also possible, but EFS lifecycle management doesn't delete the object. It can only transition files in and out of the infrequent access tier basically. The last option says create an S3 bucket with encryption enabled. Configure AWS transfer for SFTP to securely upload files to the S3 bucket. Configure the retention policy on the SFTP server to delete files after a month. This is also incorrect because you have a 30-day retention policy must be configured on the S3 bucket. There is no retention policy on SFTP AWS transfer, okay? So the correct thing you have seen, S3 bucket with encryption enabled and a lifecycle rule to delete the files after a month. And you will also launch an AWS transfer for SFTP endpoint to add to upload the files in S3 bucket securely. Next question. A new online banking platform has been redesigned to have a microservices architecture in which complex applications are decomposed into smaller independent services. The new platform is using Docker, considering that the application containers are optimal for running small decoupled services. The new solution should remove the need to provision and manage servers, lets you specify and pay for resources per application, and improve security through application isolation by design. Which of the following is the most suitable service to use to migrate this new platform to AWS? Let's see this. EKS. So EKS is incorrect because to that is this is more suitable to run Kubernetes management infrastructure, not Docker. Okay. Next, EFS is the option available. So EFS is a file system for Linux-based workloads for use with AWS cloud services and on-premise resources. So here it is not and it does not do the job what we need. Okay, we need the service to migrate this new platform to AWS. Okay, Fargate. Now Fargate is what it is, a serverless compute engine for containers, and it works well with both ECS, the container service, elastic container service, and EKS. So Fargate makes it easy for you to focus on building your applications. It will all the things whatever. Okay, so this is the basically this is the definition of Fargate. Okay, remove the need to provision and manage resources, let you specify and pay for resources per application. This is a definition of Fargate. So you should, if you have read Fargate, you should know this. Okay, the Fargate is the correct answer here. Okay, and why EBS is not correct is because it is primarily used to provide persistent block storage volumes for use with EC2 instances in the cloud. So Fargate is the correct answer. That's it for today, guys. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment box. And what kind of videos would you like to see ahead? I'm also planning to start a developer associate practice series. Or if you would like me to do a AWS Solution Architect Associate professional practice series, please let me know. Um, Also, let me know how are you liking the labs. I have done few AWS hands-on labs. So please check that out. And if you need any help regarding cloud practitioner, AWS solution architect certificate, then please check out the series available and let me know in the comment box what are your views on it. Till then, stay happy and let's codify with Sonal in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Do not forget to hit the bell icon to get a notification of the updated video. Thank you.